Hey, thanks so much for downloading the episode. On the show today, I recap my trip with producer Dub to New York City, the traveling part anyway. Yes, we still have our Ugly and Awkward Moments of the week. Thank you for shopping livingclip.com. Enjoy the show.
It's another uncensored look at the world around you, from sisters who will say just about anything to anyone at any time. It's the Uggs. Jamie?
Guess who's in charge of the tip, bitch? It ain't him. It's me.
Paula?
Do you shit all over the walls?
Uncensored as always, it's time for the ugly truth.
Welcome to The Ugly Truth. It is episode 292. Ugh.
We are Sisters Who Podcast.
Sisters Who Podcast. Damn it. Yes. You know what? You say that. That'll be your thing. You say that. Sisters Who Podcast.
Why? It sounds less funny.
I don't know. So welcome to The Ugly Truth. I'm Jamie. Yes, this is my sister, Paula. Okay, so last week on the Wednesday show, I said that producer Dub and I were going to New York. He had a business meeting. It was actually a really big, important one. He was super excited about it. And now he travels, what you think, like once a month probably, I think. I would say that's a pretty good average.
It just depends on where he's going. I would say every other month. He's definitely like flight travel.
Yes. So whenever he is traveling, if it's somewhere fun, like Seattle or LA or San Diego or whatever, he always asks, well, can you come with me? And I always say no, because it's work. It's during the week. You know, I'm not ready to completely abandon our last child yet. Mm-hmm. So I'm not comfortable just upping and leaving. Now, Malia, she's actually right now, Paula, she's, at the DMV taking her test.
Oh.
Not the driving license, the permit test.
Oh.
So, but
well,
she's
it's about time. Jeez.
Well, listen, all of our kids didn't get their driver's license until they turned 18. It's just the way we do it. Mm-hmm. She definitely was not ready to get her permit before now. So it's fine. She will have her driver's license when she turns 18, just like everybody else. Mm-hmm. But she definitely drug her feet on getting through the online training for sure. Anyway, so Daryl's like, oh, I got invited to this big New York meeting. It's a pretty big deal. I'm presenting in front of some pretty big people in the company. And he goes, do you want to go? Because it's in Manhattan, and it's in like the upper Manhattan, like near Central Park.
Wow.
And I'm like, you know what? Yes, I will go, because it's only a couple of days, and I've never been to New York, and it's just one day of work. And so we'll actually have it at least a day to go do whatever we want to do and see whatever we want to see. And I have zero reference, so I have no idea what we're going to see or what kind of time that means. Like, I don't even know.
So did you have to pay for your ticket then?
Yes, he bought my flight. Okay. Yeah, no. They didn't pay for anything I did. So we actually booked our flights separately because the company pays for his. And so he literally had two computers because he wanted to make sure that we got seats next to each other.
Oh, right.
So he did get all that done. Now, I made a huge mistake because he said, okay, so there's two ways to get to New York from Sacramento. There's no direct flights.
Okay.
I take that back. There is a direct flight, but it leaves at 11:30 p.m. and then you arrive in New York at 7 a.m.
Okay.
It's a red eye.
No one can sleep on those.
No.
At least no one in our family can sleep on those.
He goes, what, you don't think you can sleep? I'm like, no, I can't sleep. No. He goes, well, you want to take like something? And I'm like, no, forget it.
I can't even sleep in a car.
I know. I can't either. So I said, what's the other option? He goes, the other option is we fly out super duper early. We have a connection in Dallas, and then we go from Dallas to New York.
That's not bad. I
said, fine, we'll do that. So he agreed to do the connection. It is an all-day travel because it's if it was a direct flight from Sacramento, it's 5.5 hours from point A to point B. So when you add a connection, you're adding to at least 2 hours to your flight. It was an 8-hour trip.
Well, especially because your connection's south. So, I mean, you have to drop down and then pick back up and go up north.
Right. There weren't too many options. I mean, we could have gone through Chicago.
No.
Which, Exactly. I've done
It's even summertime. I wouldn't recommend it. You'll get delayed.
That's exactly it. I've had flights delayed from Sacramento to Chicago, where I literally left the airport not going anywhere.
I know.
So I'm with you. I would never, it's not my favorite. So we did Dallas. There's nothing I can say good about Dallas, by the way. I'm sorry, Texans. It's like literally the most god-awful place on the planet. Your airport's horrible. I hate it.
Is this the one that has the trains or no?
Yes, it has trains.
Yeah.
They all do, but it's that place is so goddamn filthy. I can't even with it. It's so bad. I just can't. But I digress. So our flight out of Sacramento, Paula, leaves at 6 a.m.
Oh, God.
So do you know what that means? I had to get up at 3:15 a.m.
Oh, my God. Did you get your makeup on?
Yes.
Okay.
I showered before we went to bed.
Okay.
And then said, you know what? I can deal with the hair because I can just do a messy bun or a braid or whatever. I'm not worried about the hair. But I need to get up early enough to put on a coat of paint because we're traveling all day. And I'm not going to look haggard. So I got up. It felt like I just took a nap because, of course, unlike most, I don't know about anybody else, but I can't sleep the night before a travel. And so I might have fallen asleep by 11:30. So I woke up at 3:15 and I felt like I had just taken a little nap. And I woke up going, okay, I'm awake.
See, Victor and I, like the night before we're going somewhere, we stay up until like 2 a.m., usually packing or, double checking everything because the kids packed their own bags. And so we're just like, all right, now we have to repack everything.
Exactly. So I had spent the whole day before packing because I didn't want to be that person. The weather is so tricky in New York. You're like, it says it's not going to be that bad, but the humidity is ridiculous.
Well, I was watching the news the other day and it was downpouring in Washington, D.C. So,
Paula, on the next episode, I'll tell you all about it because we were in it. So it's time to leave and I'm prepared. I decided to go with I got some cute, like yoga pants and I was wearing a very comfortable outfit. I realized that it was going to be 100 degrees wherever we went that day, but I am not wearing sandals and shorts at an airport.
No.
I don't care how comfortable you are. Those places are disgusting.
Nothing that can touch your thigh or butt.
I want nothing swimming up into my vag, and I want nothing touching my feet openly. Never.
Were you wearing your slides?
No, I bought a pair of really cute street shoes, like Adidas. You can't work out in them, but they're like urban. They're tennis shoes that you can't work out in. Whatever that, you know what I mean? Stylish. Mm-hmm. So I bought those. And so I was wearing those and I'm like, look, I realize, and I did get a couple looks like, girl, it's summer and you're wearing all black. And I'm like, don't care. Nothing's touching my bod. I don't want anything touching me. It's like going to the movies.
You were a human condom.
Pretty much in black. Here's the one thing that I realized. There is a line in the sand in which it's just too early for me.
I would agree.
It's 4 a.m. Unless I am walking out of a club.
Exactly.
That's different. But if I'm making my way to a place at 4 a.m., chances are I'm not going to be friendly. Paula, I was hostile. Daryl's like, to me, it felt obsessive. He's like, can I get you some coffee? And I'm like, stop asking me about coffee. Nothing's open in the airport until almost 6. So there was nothing to be had anyway.
There was no coffee?
No, not until I believe everything in the airport opens at like 5.
Oh, okay.
So by the time...
But by then you needed to be at your gate.
Right, because we boarded at 5:30.
Right.
So by the time we get through security, which was easy because there's like literally no... I mean, it was busy actually, but it wasn't unbelievably difficult. And luckily we weren't in front of any, noobs who had no idea how to work a TSA line.
What? Weed is legal in California. What do you mean I can't have it in my bag?
I have to yeah, it's like, wait, I've been going to this airport for 20 years. What do you mean I have to remove my shoes? None of that, thank God. So we got through that. So he kept asking me, and I said, if you ask me one more time about coffee, I'm leaving. And he's like, all right. So, and here's the other thing. We flew American Airlines. Literally the most unpleasant experience of my life. I never want to fly them again. But I mean, I would if I had to, but I really don't want to. Like I was telling you before the show, you and I are both at the age where it's like, I am done trying to find a cheap way to travel. It is what it is. The price is what it is. Pay it. So for American Airlines specifically, and maybe other airlines are like this, you can either pay to purchase your seats when you buy your ticket, or you can just check in, and when you get to the gate, they assign you your seat.
Okay.
Okay, so to wait to get your seat assigned, you wait in a line, and the people at the gate will assign you your seats accordingly, and then you get no choice. You just get what they give you. If you're flying with your family, you're shit out of luck.
That's terrible.
It is what it is, but it's free. Or you can pay $100 extra to handpick your seats.
Per person?
Per person. Guess what? We paid it.
Of course you did.
Because it is what it is. First of all, we had some wiggle room because we did not pay for Daryl's flight.
Oh, right.
So we're really only paying for mine. And the flights weren't that bad. They were kind of cheap considering how far we were going.
Right.
So I was okay with that. I was fine with it. And I'm like, all right, whatever. So in addition, there are no free, you can't, when you check your luggage, you pay to check your luggage.
Oh, God.
So I think it was like $50 a bag.
Jeez.
It was not cheap. Everything that's convenient now is a charge. There's no free anything.
I guess there's something to be said about Southwest.
Paula, swear to God, I said, I don't know why Southwest gets so much shit, because they are the most. No wonder they're the most.
True, their engines blow up like in air, and that's frightening. But
yes.
Your bags are free, and you get to sit wherever you want.
Oh Lord. So anyway, we were like, okay. So, and Daryl's, we were paying it.
Okay.
And so we finally get on the plane. It's completely full. And Paula,
it smells like morning breath, I'm sure.
It was fine because they had it incredibly cold.
Oh, good.
Everything was super cold. So by the time we finally, got on and we sat down, we had the window and the center seat, so I could have the window seat. So we were just sitting there. And the flight is 3 hours to Dallas.
You had a window seat?
Yes.
Is that how you prefer it?
I prefer window. Oh, you don't like window seats?
I don't like flying, so I prefer the aisle seat so I can just pretend like I'm on a bus or something.
Yeah. Well, we got really fortunate with our aisle seat compatriot. We got nobody incredibly overweight. We didn't get anybody chatty. We just got very normal solo people, and they were so grateful to see us. Like when we were like, oh, this is our aisle, they're like, literally in their eyes, it's like, oh, thank God, normal people. Like they were so glad that it was just two normal humans coming aboard.
I usually get some ginormous sweaty guy because it's humidity, and he just ran onto the plane, and then it comes and sits next to me, and I'm just like God. I'm like, am I getting punked? Yeah. What's going on here?
It was fine, except there was someone in front who had gas the entire time.
Go figure.
The entire time.
Must be a nervous flyer like me, except I don't toot.
I don't know, but it was brutal. I kept thinking, is that the plane or is it a person? Because I feel like it's coming in regular intervals. But I'm pretty sure it was
maybe they were having contractions. I don't know.
Maybe they were. It was not pleasant. So then we finally get to Dallas, and I'm like, I have to pee. I had some shitty coffee that did nothing. We get there, and I go into the bathroom. I'm like, this is literally the filthiest bathroom I've ever seen, and I've been in Oakland. This is awful. This is just disgusting. There's garbage everywhere. It reeked of shit. It was just the worst. I'm like, how hard is it to keep a bathroom clean? I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. Why do people suddenly lose, I'm sure their bathrooms don't look like that.
I don't know. Yeah, is this how you treat your homes?
I mean, do you shit all over the walls?
God, Paula, it was so bad. I realize that we actually have quite a few listeners who live in the Texas state. I don't really know what to tell you, but your airport is the shittiest place. It's so bad. I hated it. I couldn't wait to leave. I'm like, when do we board? I want out of here.
I've had good experiences at Dallas. Not Dallas, Denver.
I love Denver Airport.
Denver's pretty nice.
Yes, I love the Denver Airport. But I couldn't wait to get out of Dallas. I have spent a lot of time in Texas for work and stuff. Mm-hmm. I'm not impressed. I personally would never live there, but it just isn't. It's not my cup of tea. It's just not. I wish I could find one good thing to say about it, but I simply can't find one. There was one cute guy in the airport who clearly lived there.
Was he a cowboy?
Yes.
Ooh.
He was a cowboy, and he was a big one, too.
Wow.
Like, he was a big dude. And I was like, okay, see, now you work on a ranch somewhere. You're hot. You're a good-looking guy. I can dig it.
Wow.
Even if you're wearing embroidered jeans, that's fine.
Embroidered jeans?
Yeah, he had, like, embroidered jeans, like, with, like, the sparkly stuff on the ass.
Oh, God.
Little dated. I don't care. Maybe those are his good jeans. Maybe all the Wranglers were packed. I don't know.
He probably has holes in everything else.
Probably, but he was a cutie pie, and, I was fine with it. And I'm like, well, if this is how they grow them in Texas, all right. That's good.
Sure.
But your bathrooms suck.
Yeah, really.
And I wouldn't eat anything there. I'm like, no.
Yeah, really.
I'm eating nothing here. I couldn't wait to get out of there. But anyway, so we finally arrived in New York. And we did have turbulence. I mean, we just did. And I was not pleased. No.
Well, whenever there's clouds in the sky, you have to know that you have to get through those clouds to get down. So you're going to have turbulence. Yeah,
so we land in Newark. We landed in Newark. And it's kind of like the Burbank of New York. It's a smaller airport, but it's really, it gets the job done. And it's super close to Manhattan. And
what happened to LaGuardia?
Wait, did we land in LaGuardia? Oh no, my bad. We did land in LaGuardia. I apologize.
Oh,
yes,
okay.
We were going to. Yes, we landed in LaGuardia. Yeah, you land in right off the water. It's just like
an island,
like San Diego.
Yeah.
You see the water, and then suddenly you're on the landing strip.
Yeah.
And I remember when we were leaving, we were taking out LaGuardia. I'm like, I had a window seat again, and I was just like, please no bird strikes. Please no bird strikes. Is Sully our pilot? Because there's the Hudson right in front of us. Jeez. It was a little unnerving. I got to tell you, it was unnerving. But anyway, yes, we landed, and I couldn't wait to get off the plane. It was the worst. I was done flying.
Well, that's a long day.
It was a very long day. And so I was so ready to get off the plane that I left my denim jacket behind.
Aww.
And we filed a claim because you can't go back.
Yeah.
Once you're done, you're done. Thanks 9/11, because you can't wander around going, hey, I left my jacket, and just run back in and get it. They don't let you do that.
Right.
So we were down waiting for our luggage, and we filed a missing claim immediately. Mm-hmm. And of course, I get text messages now at 1 a.m. for the last 3 days saying, we're still looking for your item, but we haven't been able to find it.
Yeah, some stewardess is wearing it now.
And I bought that from Victoria's Secret. They don't even make them anymore.
She's probably like, ooh, this is cute.
Victoria's Secret? Oh, nice.
I left a camera once on the plane. No. It was when me, Allison, and Stephanie went to Vegas. And so we had already taken a bunch of goofy pictures on the plane and stuff.
Of course.
And then I left it behind. Great. And I'm just like, oh, God, some person's going to get this and be like, what the hell?
They'll be like, nice camera, weird women. Exactly. So I was a little irritated by that. Now, the only other thing I will say is we did take some cab rides when we were there, but for the most part, we did Uber.
Aren't the cab riders like crazy drivers?
Yes, and
they make their own lanes.
They do. The other thing is our experience with the one, we did take two cabs, but the one cab, they know when you're not from New York, and where we were staying, it's predominantly travelers or tourists, because of the location to Central Park and Times Square and all that stuff. So you'd be hard-pressed to find a lot of locals taking cabs over there. Mm-hmm. So they take advantage. So when we took a cab ride to go to our first dinner for the evening, which was at Chef Alex, how do you say her last name? Gornishelli's restaurant, Butter, he acted like he had never heard of the place before. And took a couple of wrong turns, and and he's talking to us. You know who he sounded like? You've seen all the Star Wars movies for the most part, right?
Yeah.
Do you remember the one where Anakin Skywalker was a little kid and he was a slave to that puppet that flew?
Yeah. Yeah.
He sounded like the puppet. He's like, why are you doing that? What is this? What are you, a Jedi? That's what he sounded like. And he would like laugh and stuff like that. And I'm like, oh my God, it's the Jedi. What are you, a Jedi mind trick guy? And he took a little extra time. And so we drove by it, and he was going to drive right by it. And I said, there it is. Bye. Thanks. And I opened up the door. Because I'm like, fuck you, and you're taking advantage of tourists. I hate that.
Really?
It's happened to me in San Francisco, and I'm like, I'm never going to let that happen again.
Well, that's why people start using Uber and Lyft
exactly.
and stuff.
Exactly. He's like, oh, butter. Oh, well, I've never. I'm like, you are a fucking liar.
Yeah,
get out.
Really?
We're out of here. I was so pissed. The one thing I will tell you, Paula, is that I have no problem fitting into New York. Everybody has resting bitch face. No one gives a fuck. And I would fit in almost immediately. No problem.
Wow.
We were on our way to Central Park, and there's a lot of people trying to get you to get on those bikes, you know, where they ride you around on their bike. You know those things where you sit in them and they kind of...
then you like sit in it or something.
Yes, and they give you the tour. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, absolutely not. I'm not sitting on any of those things. I'm walking. And the guy goes, oh, what are you guys from New York? Are you guys New Yorkers or something? And Daryl goes, yes. And he goes, no, you're not. You guys are too friendly. And he turned around and walked away. And I'm like, that was friendly? I'm like, because we didn't tell you to fuck off?
Yeah,
okay, whatever.
So how was butter then?
Okay, so we had one of the last reservations for the evening. It was a Sunday night. And it's, okay, first of all the restaurants in New York are super dark. Everything is dark. I don't know why, but everything is dark.
Wow.
So, which is fine. And the lighting's great, but it's dark wherever you go. Nothing's well lit. So we go in, and it's down. You go down these stairs, and the hostess is there, and there might have been like 3 other guests there. We literally were one of the last seatings. So all the food was amazing. Everything was delicious. I can't complain about anything, except that the waitress, the server, she was a little too friendly with Daryl.
Oh.
And I didn't like it. And the thing is that I am not one of those people who I am not like flattered if a woman finds my man attractive. Like that doesn't, I don't want that.
I usually grab him by the throat and tell him to piss off, but.
Yeah. So she, for a time, was acting like I wasn't even there. And that is such a huge problem for me because it just is. She started complimenting him on his watch. Now, Daryl, whether he acts like he doesn't know, he's like, well, I don't understand. I didn't notice anything. I'm like, that's because you're a man and you were loving all of the accolades and the compliments.
And the waitress knew who was paying the ticket. So
yes, and she wanted to sit in your lap. You know, I mean, for God's sake. And he's like, no, she didn't. And I'm like, honey, yes, she did. And if it's a tactic to get a tip, guess who's in charge of the tip, bitch?
Yeah,
it
really.
ain't him. It's me.
The husbands are always asking the wives, how much should I leave?
And not only that, but it's like, this isn't a New York thing, okay? This is not how this goes, okay? No, this is not a New York thing. So she complimented on his watch, and he smartly goes, oh, well, my wife bought it for me. And he pointed, he motioned to me. She's like, oh, that's really nice, da-da-da. And after that, she was completely different.
What, and did she not see you or something?
No, she saw me, but I'm fairly certain I had a look of war and hell on my face when she complimented the watch. Because that was, to me, was like kind of the last straw. And then she walked, she sauntered off and did whatever. And then Daryl's like, I'm just so happy that you're here with me right now. I'm like, shut the fuck up.
Yeah,
dude.
right.
I know what's going on. All right, what do you think? I'm a moron? What do you think? I'm like, I'm not flattered by any of this.
I'd be angry. I'd be like,
I
be
was
more
furious.
Perceptive, you dummy.
He absolutely knew what the what was. He knew I was just furious. And it's, you know what? I was offended. Excuse me. I was offended because as a woman, it's like, I am obviously here with this man. Obviously. I was not happy. And so he was trying to kiss my ass. I'm like, you're not getting laid tonight, so drink up.
So did you see Alex Gordicelli?
No, she was not there. But the waitress or the server, whoever, the whore, she kept telling us that she sees her all the time and blah, blah, blah. We're like, yeah, big fucking deal. I don't care anymore.
Yeah, I don't care what you see. I want to see it for my own self.
Right. But I think because it was so late in the evening and it was a Sunday, you know, she just wasn't there. But she is there frequently, but she wasn't there that evening. She has this dessert, they call them beignets, but they look like little baby jelly donuts.
Ooh.
And Paula, they're so freaking good. Oh my God. They were so delicious. We got those. Excuse me. And I actually got halibut, and it was some of the best halibut I've ever had.
I love halibut.
It was so delicious. Daryl got some chicken, and it was fine. The halibut was way better, though. And then we got some...
He went to, like, a world-class restaurant, and he got chicken.
There was not a lot I
Oh,
There's only,
really?
like, 4 options. Yeah, it's a small menu. Because it changes, like, probably every month.
Oh, I see.
You know, it's not surprising. But I said you should get the halibut, too. I mean, it's just... We should have just gotten whatever. But whenever we go to a new place that's kind of... like a bucket list type thing, we always want to try everything.
Right.
So he'll order something else. You know, there wasn't even like a pasta dish or anything. It was just really like 4 proteins. It was pretty minimal. Everything was delicious, though. I have to say, there was nothing bad about anything. The cocktails were great. It was really great. I mean, other than the server who can go fuck off.
Would you say
Other
it's
than
like one of the best restaurants you've been to?
Definitely at the top. It reminded us of a restaurant that we have here in Sacramento called Mulvaney's, where it's very farm to table. Everything's super fresh. In season stuff is what they prepare. So all of it. She had a burrata that we ordered. It was to die for. It was so delicious. Everything was so fresh. I would definitely say it was one of our top restaurants for sure.
Cool.
I mean, the problem is that the next night we went to Chef Mark Forgione's restaurant in Tribeca.
Okay.
He is the Iron Chef who has the mohawk.
Yes. Okay, yeah.
Through our incredibly lovely hairdresser, Neil, he is friends with the GM who works at Forgione, and his name is Matthew. And so he gave us Matthew's phone number and said, just text him and tell him you're friends of mine and he'll set you up. We're like, okay. So Daryl did it. He goes, oh, absolutely. We got the chef's table and we met Mark more than once. He came over and told us to enjoy our meal. We got just tons of extra tastings. We got a wine pairing that was out of this world. It was amazing.
Wow.
It was mind-blowing. The
that
flavors.
sounds awesome.
Paula, I swear to God, it made Chef Alex look like Sizzler compared to what we had.
Aw, well, that's
I
because
know.
you guys had like a VIP experience.
Yes, it was. It was so unbelievable. I can't. And so I texted our mom and I said, yeah, we ate at Mark Forgione's restaurant, and I don't know why this guy's not getting more play. He's unbelievable. Now, he has a Michelin star. He's the youngest. I believe he's the youngest Iron Chef ever. He's or the youngest restaurant award-winning guy in New York or something like. He's got a lot of accolades. His father is an esteemed chef as well. So he has tons of recognition. He went to France to learn for 3 years before he came back, and he just a very accomplished chef. It shows everything he does. Everything the service, the people that work there. There's nothing at all that I can complain about. It was one of the best meals I've ever eaten in my life. My life.
Wow.
Yes, no doubt. Hands down the best. Again, super dark restaurant. It's super dark in there. One of the things that was really funny is we did the chef's tasting menu. So at the end, of course, dessert's coming. And so they have something, it's called the egg. That is the name of the dessert. So we have this white plate sitting in front of us, and it's got like some coconut and some little sherbety thing. And the waitress walks over and she throws this egg at the platter so it breaks. And then there's all this yellow stuff comes out like an egg.
Yeah.
And it was like mango puree and it like immediately froze because the bottom of the dish had like dry ice on it or something. It was so good. I'm like, what is this? This is crazy.
That is crazy. That's like the kind of stuff you see him do at like Iron Chef stuff.
Oh, for sure. Everything was amazing. There was nothing. In fact, Matthew came over. He goes, well, what's been your favorite tasting so far? And I said, I can't even, I don't even
You're
know.
like everything.
I can't explain it. Maybe the lobster. I don't know. I mean, I can't tell. But the whole experience was absolutely phenomenal. I was so happy that we were able to do that.
Wow.
So happy.
That is crazy.
I cannot thank Matthew and Neil enough for letting us be a part of that. It was, I mean, maybe it's normal for New Yorkers to just wander in and do that, but for us, that's unlike anything we've ever done before.
Sure.
I'll never forget it. I'll never forget it.
Did you get some pictures at least?
We did get a couple, but the chef actually printed out the menu and signed saying thank you for coming, and it was great meeting you guys, and autographed our little menu and sent that off with us. And yeah,
that's pretty impressive.
It was great. It was just so sweet, you know. I mean, things like that may not mean much to him, but to us it meant everything, you know. And we were sitting next to some friends of his. They were also there eating. And so after he had finished, because we closed the place down because we had a really late seating. Mm-hmm. So when he was done cooking, he came in and sat down next with his friends, and he started telling them the story about how he met his wife and how he fell in love with her. And it's really cute because she actually came into his restaurant. And he's got this thing where if you want to order truffles, he'll come out and shave truffles onto any dish you want. And I'm not a fan of the truffle. I don't like truffles personally, but some people really like it.
I've never had them.
Well, they're really expensive, mushroomy type things that are full of flavor. So apparently she was in the restaurant. He did see her when she came in and thought she was beautiful, but he heard her say, "I hate truffles. I want them on nothing." And he was like, "Oh, I got to meet this girl." Because he loves them. He loves truffles. And so he's like, "Oh, it's a challenge." She goes, "Luckily, she just happened to be at the bar that we all went to afterwards that evening. And that's how we met, like talked and stuff. And now they've been married for 2 years."
Oh, that's cute.
Really, really cute. And he's really nice. He's a lot shorter than I expected.
Yeah, he seems more of like a petite kind of guy.
Yeah, he's short, very Italian, but very big, strong hands. Very big, strong hands, because I got to shake his hand.
Well, you know what they say.
I do. I do. And I'm like, lucky wife, happy life. Yeah. So anyway, yeah, it was so great. But of course, which will lead into this, I had my incredibly ugly and awkward moment at Forgione.
Oh, no.
As you can, Paula, I've had several. I had several in New York. I mean, did you think I wasn't going to have any?
No, I guess I had hoped that it would just be a moment between you and Daryl and maybe some strangers.
Oh, no. So the first morning we're there, and we have this beautiful hotel room that overlooks Central Park, by the way. Mm-hmm. It's amazing. So the first morning, Daryl's like, "Well, let's just get room service. We'll just get a bagel and coffee before I go off to my appointment, and then you can just chill in the room." I'm like, "Okay, cool. Yeah, whatever." So he calls at like 8:00 in the morning. He goes, "Yeah, can I get some coffee for 2 and 2 bagels and cream cheese?" "Yeah, sure, no problem. Half hour." "Okay, no big deal." So I'm in bed because the time change is not good.
Yeah, because it's like 5 a.m. where we are.
Now, Daryl is up and about at 5 a.m. even at home, so for him it wasn't that big of a deal. But for me, I'm just like, I'm dying.
Yeah, really?
I don't want to move. So I'm in bed, half asleep. 10 minutes later, the door knocks, and it's room service. Now, I don't know about you, but if you've ordered room service in California, they don't just come barreling in. They ask you, "Where do you want it? What can I," there's some modesty there. This guy came blowing in, walked right past the bed, and placed it down in front of the window. I'm 2 feet away. My panties are on the floor. I'm in bed, and I see him, and I'm like cover myself with the sheets and stuff. Yes. Because there I am laying in bed while he's setting up everything. I'm like, "Oh my God, God, are you kidding? I'm just laying there looking around at the white sheet going, I can't believe this is happening right now. I feel like I'm in trouble. Like, I should have been awake.
I'm sure he's seen much worse.
Probably, but I was obviously embarrassed. And so Daryl goes, I'm so sorry. He ran right by me. I had no choice.
So when we went to Grand Sierra Resort in Reno,
yeah,
we ordered room service one morning, and they do kind of just like, you open the door and they do just kind of come in and they set up the little table. So when I realized he was coming in, because I sleep in underwear, but nothing else usually.
Yeah. Right.
I went under the covers and I like laid him on top of me, and then I kind of like positioned myself like I was a bed, you know?
Yeah.
So hoping he wouldn't recognize me, but
it's awkward and uncomfortable, but that's kind of an awkward moment.
Yeah,
but no.
Totally.
Yeah, but no, we're going to go now. We're going into our ugly and awkward moments of the week. Do you have one?
Yes, I do, actually.
Let's hear it.
Yesterday, we were kind of like, because I haven't been feeling well, we had some chores to catch up on. So everybody was kind of like doing some deep cleaning. Mm-hmm. And you know how they have the music stations on cable? So you could check it to like, 80s, 90s, today's hits, all that kind of stuff.
Right.
So I always turn it on to the 80s because I love the 80s music. So
me too.
That song, so raise your hands to heaven and pray. And so it was playing. And so Ryan looked at the TV and he's like, whose breath? And so I said, Ryan, well, it's Breathe. So I started laughing so hard and I'm like, Ryan, you're going to make me pee my pants. And so I did pee my pants.
Oh, no. Oh, no.
So I ran into the bathroom and it was too late. And so I had to change my underwear. But
oh, my God, that's so funny. Whose breath?
That was funny. Oh, I never thought of someone saying it like that, But because I've heard that song like a gazillion times. Tonight I'll be your sweet caress. Hold me in the darkness.
Yes. I hear it.
Okay.
You peed your pants.
It was by the band Breath, but no, Breathe. What am I saying? Breathe.
Breathe.
No, I'm saying it's Breath. So that was mine.
That's funny. Well, peeing your pants is pretty good.
Yeah, not bad.
Was it one of those ones where you like dropped down and like did the squat position? You're like, please no, I'm gonna pee. Or did you just stand there and
it kind of just trickled out because I didn't really have to pee at all, but it was,
of course not.
It was just the kind of, I don't know, maybe just laughing so hard you were kind of like bearing down a little bit.
Yes.
So,
well, once you've had children, anything's possible.
It's true. Anything can come out then. Possibly another baby. I don't know. So.
What?
Don't you sometimes just think like God knows what could come out?
Oh, it's I'm like, are you trying to tell me something right now?
No.
Okay. So at this really fancy restaurant, Forgione, we had, because we did the tasting menu, we were getting just little mini dishes after, they're little mini dishes, one after the other. And there was this one, it was a lobster dish that was in this delicious, like, sriracha, creamy, tomatoey sauce. And it came with a big piece of Texas, like a little, not big, but a big wedge of Texas toast so that you could sop it all up. Mm-hmm. So they give it to you and you're like, oh, this is delicious. And then they hand you this little wooden thing with a lemon and liquid in it. And I'm like, and the thing is because this is one of those super fancy things, everything has a purpose with the dish. So we were so excited about the lobster and everything tasted so delicious, we had both forgotten about the lemon water. So we're sitting there and Daryl goes, oh, we forgot about the lemon water. I go, oh yeah, that's right. It's probably like, it's like a palate cleanser or something. And then you do the toast or something. We just didn't listen because we were so excited. So I pick up the little wooden dish and I start to sip it. The waiter, this guy comes over. He's not even the waiter. He's just somebody who like fills up water. So he goes, no. And he like reaches out to grab the bowl. He goes, no, ma'am, no. He goes, that's for your hands.
Oh.
And I went, what? And he goes, you wash your hands in that. And he did like the finger movements because he didn't speak really good English. And I went, oh. And so I put it down and so I go, oh, you mean like this? He goes, yes, yes. So I had the liquid in my mouth. It's soapy. And Daryl is like, oh my God. I was like, shut up. I'm like, just shut up. And the guy is laughing like hard. I'm like, I can't be the only person who's done this, but
it sounds like you might be.
Apparently I was. So I was like, oh God, it looked just so refreshing.
Knowing me, I would have poured it on my lobster.
Oh my God. I mean, I was, and the thing is, I go, my brain said this looks like something you dip your fingers in, but the dish doesn't require it. So I was trying to figure out, why would they give this to you? Because you really don't need it unless you were messy with the toast and like trying to sop up all the gravy stuff that came with it. But I couldn't believe it. And I was like, God, I'm so embarrassed. And he just was like beside himself with giddy. He thought it was the funniest thing ever.
He told everybody after you guys left.
That's what I said. I go, oh my God. Chef Forcione's like, oh, that poor girl.
West Coasters.
Californians.
Somehow it's going to get back to Neil, and then the next time you get your hair done, he's like, do you want a drink of this sterilization?
I have this little cup here with a lemon in it. Would you like to drink it?
Or you should just like call his bluff. Do you have any lemon water I got a drink of? Oh my gosh.
It was so embarrassing. It was so, I felt like flesh. I definitely blushed.
That's hilarious.
Because I wasn't on my own. I mean, it wasn't like we were the only people in the place. I mean, all of his friends were sitting next to us, obviously. And this guy was not standing in front of us, by the way. He was afar. And he literally walked across the restaurant and grabbed that bowl out of my hand.
Well, he probably didn't want you to get like poisoned or something.
Yeah, he's like, it's Dawn liquid soap. Don't drink it. It's like, goddamn California, you put a lemon in anything and they think they can drink it.
True, very true.
God, it was so funny though.
Well, I definitely think you win this week. I mean,
thank you.
That was hilarious.
Oh my God, Paula.
That was hilarious.
Unbelievable. But anyway, so next week I will tell you about some of the activities that we did because we're completely out of time. Mm-hmm. So I'll tell you, I'll recap a couple of the things that we did that you're going to want to hear about. And then we'll talk a little bit about social media and our Ugly moments.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Oh, yeah.
On a different note, thank you everybody for shopping on Prime Day. Hopefully you got some good deals and you were able to use our link when you were shopping. Also, thank you everyone for continuing to shop Avon. We appreciate your patronage. Back to school will be coming up, so I know our kids have been looking at backpacks online because they're excited. And of course, there's always good deals on school supplies. And I know it's just easy to go to the store and pick them up, but we usually pick up extra supplies for the classroom because I never volunteer in the classroom, but where I don't volunteer, I usually throw money at the situation. And
for real.
I'll get, a couple extra glue sticks or, binders or whatever else I can do.
Donate. Mm-hmm.
So Amazon's really good for that kind of stuff because they have almost just as good as deals as they do at like a Walmart or a Target or something like that. So check out Amazon, use our link, get your school supplies, get your backpacks. I think that's all. So we will see you next week. Bye.
Okay. Bye.
Thanks for listening and sharing the show. See you next time on The Ugly Truth.